Hello YouTube, this is Logan Film Studios with LEGO Transformers G1 Powerglide. So here's Powerglide in its plane mode, and I'm really happy with how this turned out. As you can see, it's mostly red, as it should be. It does have the occasional gray parts, like here on the sides, where the sides of the leg are, but there's not really much I could do about that. I was happy enough to get the red panel on top to hide the legs there. And so, as you can see on the bottom, you can see most of the gray. These gray sections are supposed to be here, but the legs are supposed to be completely red at this point, and you can kind of see the gap in between the legs. One thing I did cover up was the face, but I mean, those who know the Powerglide design know pretty much what's going on here. Some details I was super happy about capturing were these cylinder sections here. I think they're supposed to be like engines or air takes, and these fins on the sides using the flag pieces. I also like how I was able to angle the wings using these red ball joints. I didn't want to use wedge plates because they would end up making the wings too thick and add a bunch of studs here, which I thought would be kind of ugly, as I prefer this more studless aesthetic. In the front, I was able to add the gun piece here and keep this relatively the right shape. It's kind of a hard shape to do in LEGO while also maintaining the fact that it's a robot head. But I think I did a pretty good job with these curved slopes here. And with the cockpit here with the 1x1 cheese slopes, I really like having a clear cockpit. One neat feature with this plane is that it is able to hold Powerglide's gun pretty much just in his hand. You can attach it to one of the clips on the sides, and it faces forward like this, so it can be like an extra gun or missile on the plane in plane mode, which I think is kind of cool. I like having weapon storage that makes it actually functional. For size comparisons, here's Powerglide next to Bumblebee, and here he is next to a minifigure. As you can see, G1 scaling doesn't really allow for planes to work super well next to cars. But hey, it's a cartoon, so none of that matters, right? So that's about it for Powerglide's plane mode, so let's get to transformation. So here is Powerglide in his robot mode after a very simple transformation. The transformation in the show is pretty simple, it's just a simple design overall. But I'm really happy with the result here. It has all the parts in the right places, obviously, like the back of the plane and the legs, and the wings sort of forming the arm sections and the sides of the body. I love how these wings are pretty flush with the body, like they're not too thick, which means the body is decently well proportioned. The head part sort of collapses a little bit to be a little bit shorter to work with the height scale with the rest of my characters. Because of the pieces I used for the arms, they are a little bit long, but not too bad. I love how the fins here sort of form an angled part to look kind of like feet. It does make this whole lower leg section kind of look like a foot, but I don't mind it that much, and I think it works for the character. And also these cylinder elements are able to fold away, which I really enjoy. So the only piece of kibble from the plane in robot mode is this back panel, which does bother me a little bit, but I sort of prioritized hiding the legs in vehicle mode over having a clean backpack in robot mode, and that's just the kind of sacrifices you have to make with LEGO. For articulation, this Powerglide has a lot of it. The head can rotate side to side, the arms can go in and out and forward and back on this universal clip hinge. The elbows, due to transformation, can go pretty much as far bent as they can be. The hips are on ball joints, so they can go forward and back and in and out. This waist piece is also on a ball joint, so it can kind of have like some rotation movements and kind of lean back. but it's not actually attached to the crotch plate, so it's only attached to the back panel. So it doesn't really have a full rotation. The knee can bend 90 degrees here, and the foot is on like this hinge, but it's attached to the whole fin due to transformation, so moving it really isn't going to do that much. It's also on this side-to-side hinge, but again, I can't see much use coming out of this. Once again, Powerglide has this gun. It's super simple, just 2 pieces, but his gun in the cartoon is pretty small. Clips into his hand like this, and I think it works pretty well for the character. For size comparisons, here is Powerglide next to Bumblebee, and here he is next to a minifigure. That's pretty much it for G1 Powerglide, and I'll see you guys next time with my next LEGO Transformer.